totaled 95 points, 28 assists, and 24 rebounds in 2019-2020, and appeared in 28 games with 9 starts. Thus far this season, he has not seen any game action due to injury. Number 2, Arnold Agar, and his last score, Number 14, forward, E.J. Charles. He's escorted by his mom, Ann Braithwaite, and his stepdad, Sylvester Braithwaite. E.J. has already earned his undergraduate degree in finance and is currently working on a master's in business administration. He's an NAIA Scholar athlete and both a member of USF's golf and basketball programs. He's appeared in 64 games with 56 starts in the latter sport, where he's averaged 8.9 points and 4.9 rebounds per game. 1 year ago, he was an honorable mention all-conference selection when he averaged 12.3 points and 6.4 rebounds per contest. Ladies and gentlemen, E.J. Charles. Number 32, Carter Fahey. This is scored by his parents, John and Pam Fahey. Carter earned his undergraduate degree in supply chain management. He's also currently working on his master's in business administration. He is an NAIA Scholar athlete as well, a transfer from Carl Sandburg College. Carter has appeared in 73 games with 27 starts over his 3-year career as a Saint. In that time, he's averaged 8.4 points and 4.5 rebounds per contest. He's having his best year this season with 14.2 points per game, 6.0 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And earlier this year, he hit the 1,000 point mark for his career between his time at Carl Sandburg and St. Francis. Carter Fahey and his parents, John and Pam Fahey. Number 22, forward, Tyler Irvin. He's escorted by his parents, Corey and Lee Irvin. Tyler is a recreation and sport management major. He's been a 4-year member of the program who's appeared in 26 games over his career. During that time, he's registered 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Irvin and his parents, Corey and Lee Irvin. Number 24, guard, Jake Carley. He's escorted by his parents, Scott and Laura Carley. Jake is a finance major and NAIA Scholar athlete as well. He's appeared in 38 games over his 4-year career with a pair of starts in that time. He's totaled 107 points, 22 three-pointers, 36 rebounds, 26 assists, and 12 steals during his run. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Carley and his parents, Scott and Laura Carley. And number 55, guard, Darius Wright. He's escorted by his parents, Michelle and Edgar Wright, and his sister, Aaliyah Wright. Darius is an accounting major. He's a 3rd-year member of the team after transferring from Florida Tech. He's appeared in 49 games with 34 career starts. For his career, he's averaging 11.7 points per game, but this year he's up to 14.1 while shooting better than 50% from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Wright. His parents Michelle and Wright, and his sister Aaliyah Wright. Once again, a round of applause for our 6 seniors and their parents. Aaliyah, DJ Charles, Carter Brady, Tyler Irwin, Jake Carley, and Darius Wright.
Between the visiting Trolls of Trinity Christian College and your Fighting Saints. At this time, let's be tackling several laps first for the visiting Trolls. Junior Michael, number 1, Saeed Miller. Sophomore Michael, number 2, John Silva. Sophomore number 33, Brady Miller. Sophomore number 34,
Good afternoon. Welcome to Senior Day at the Sullivan Center. Here on the campus of the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois, it's St. Francis and Trinity Christian in a late season CCAC matchup. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's game as the Fighting Saints try to bounce back from a tough loss against Roosevelt last week. A chance today to pick up their 11th conference victory of the year and cement their spot in the CCAC tournament at the end of this season. E.J. Charles and Troy Glover are going head-to-head for the opening tip. The tip is won by Glover and the Trolls, and we're underway. Trinity in navy blue today, going from left to right. St. Francis in white. They go from right to left the first 20 minutes of today's game as E.J. Charles jumps in front of a Brady Larrett pass and takes it away, an early steal for the Fighting Saints as Carter Fahey's turnaround is blocked out of bounds. Good hands from the freshman Troy Glover. St. Francis will keep possession. 6 seconds gone from the possession so far. Darius Wright inbounds to Jake Carley. Both Carley and Tyler Irvin are getting uncharacteristic starts today. Passed around, back to E.J. Charles. Fahey outside, Darius Wright sets up for three. It's short. Rebound Troy Glover, and a foul is called on St. Francis. For Jake Carley, today is the second start of the year. And for Tyler Irvin, just the 5th appearance this year. And first as a starter. Both men are in the lineup as a result of Senior Day. 6 St. Francis seniors were honored before the game today. 5 of them are in the lineup. Drive from Sayer Miller. He comes up short. Miller grabs his own miss. Second chance. No. Rebounded by Carley. The only senior who's not in the starting lineup today is Arnold Agard, who's missed this whole season with an injury. Fahey picks up his dribble, passes it outside. Darius Wright gives it right back to the post. And Carter Fahey. Kicked outside, Carley for three, it's good. Jake Carley gets us started with a three and a turnover. John Cizon let that ball slip through his hands and out of bounds. So a turnover that you don't see very often. An inbounds play, an inability to catch the ball. There was no pressure there. Just couldn't pull it in. E.J. Charles left alone, jumper is no good. He was looking to pass that ball and then eventually looked up and realized there's nobody defending him. So he took the shot. It all worked out for Trinity Christian. Crazy like a fox defensively. This was the plan all along. Here's Bridgman. Jaden Bridgman backs in. Turn around up with the right hand. Doesn't get the roll. Rebounded by Carter Fahey. Fahey fires it off to E.J. Charles down the baseline. Charles working against Glover. Up and in. Tough shot, E.J. Charles, but he finishes it off and gives St. Francis a 5-0 lead. Zaire Miller sets it up, passes off to Brady Larup on the right. This is Miller once again. John Cizon, the leading scorer this season for Trinity, trying to get some room inside, but he's tied up. Well, the possession arrow favors the home team. St. Francis forces the turnover. Rough start for Trinity Christian, as they have not scored in the first 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Arnold Agard checks in for St. Francis. Mentioned before, Agard has missed this season due to injury, but here on Senior Day, it's a little bit of action. First appearance of the year for Agard, nearly dropped by Carter Fahey, but he keeps it alive. Fahey stuck underneath the basket, out to Agard. Agard pull up from 2-point range, doesn't get the roll, and the tip is no good from Carter Fahey. Here's Zaire Miller bouncing down low. Jaden Bridgman. Bridgman against Charles. Contact, no foul, and no good on the shot from Bridgman. Trinity remains scoreless. Charles steps right into a three-pointer. It rims out. Quick shot from E.J. Charles. Trinity still down by just 5 despite their offensive struggles. Brady Larup gets himself to the free throw line. Second foul called against St. Francis. They've both gone on Carter Fahey. And so Fahey is going to have to, nope, he's not going to sit out. Aitor Anabarte comes in for Tyler Irvin. And now Casimiro Chiaka throws off his warm-up shirt, and Fahey will check out as well. Aitor Anabarte and Casimiro Chiaka both sent back to the scorer's table. They'll wait till after the first shot before they can come in. Now that all that Michigas is cleared up, free throw for Brady Larup is good. First point of the game for Trinity Christian. Belongs to their sophomore forward from Tinley Park, Brady Larup out of Chicago Christian High School. Larup this season averaging 8.5 points per game for Trinity Christian. He's got the first 2 of this game. Arnold Agard sets up the offense. Agard, transfer from Brooklyn, New York, played a big role on last year's team, getting his first action this year. It's Aitor Anabarte receiving his first touch of the game. Gives it up to E.J. Charles, who lays it in. Off the assist from Anabarte, who is St. Francis's leading scorer this year. A rare appearance off the bench here on Senior Day for both Aitor Anabarte and Nadav Gerner. Today is the first game all year that they have not been in the starting lineup. Bridgman working hard inside, turnaround no good, but the follow is there for Troy Glover. Nearly 4 minutes in, first field goal of the game for Trinity Christian. Thanks to their free throws on the previous possession, they've scored on back-to-back trips down the floor. Charles gets the screen, bounces down low to Anabarte, and outside, Darius Wright into the corner for Anabarte. Cross court, Arnold Agard. Through the hands of Darius Wright, he can't save it. Looked like Wright maybe just took his eyes off the ball a little bit too quickly. It slipped right through his fingers. And the turnover gives the ball to Trinity Christian, who trails by just 1 possession. Slow offensive start for the Trolls, but they're in this thing early. Larup gives it up, it's Bridgman. Here's Cizon from the free throw line, jumper misses short. Rebound Anabarte. Here's E.J. Charles. Anabarte over to Charles. Charles gets Cizon up in the air and is able to lay it in. Good start to this game for E.J. Charles. He scored 6. 5-point lead for St. Francis. Brady Larup gives it up to Glover. Bridgman at the top. 1 dribble, pass back out to Brady Larup. Into the corner, this is Dustin Hudak. Reverse layup for Hudak is good. Nice play by the junior reserve. Hudak off the bench, getting his first points today. And Trinity has started to find their offensive rhythm. Ochiaka wide open into the corner, and Darius Wright can't finish on the three. Ahead for Hudak, a little bit overthrown. Hudak's able to save it, or was he? Nope, he stepped on the line. So out of bounds. Trinity thought they had a fast break, but a slightly errant pass instead gives the ball back to St. Francis. So a fast break turns into a turnover. The Saints maintain their lead. For the first 5.5 minutes of today's game, the Saints have led the whole way. Charles dribbles down low. His pass is intercepted by Hudak. Cezanne bounces inside, Larup lays it up, no good. There were two trolls and no defenders around them. And a little bit of confusion between Larup and Glover, I think, is what forced the miss more than anything. But who's going to grab that ball and then consequently take the shot? Anabadarte's pass is deflected out of bounds by Hudak, still Saints ball. E.J. Charles to inbound here. Slow going offensively in this game to start. Lobbed into Ochiaka. Ochiaka up with the left hand, gets the roll. First points for Casimir Ochiaka. Saints match their biggest lead at 5. They've been ahead by 5 several times to start this game. Here's Cezanne at the free throw line, backing it out. Bounced in for Troy Glover, who throws it down with 2 hands. Glover's got 4. Trinity keeping pace with St. Francis here as the two sides seem to trade baskets. We've had long stretches without points, but every time one team scores, the other team seems to follow. Agard for 3. No good, a little bit too strong, rebounded by Dustin Hudak. Here's Cezanne starting to make his move around Anabadarte. Layup, no, too strong off the glass. A good drive from Cezanne, but he's not able to finish. Nice feed from Wright to Agard. Agard comes up short at the rim. On the run, it's Noah Andringa. Inside, a block and a foul. Larup to the line. Foul called on Casimir Ochiaka, his first. Good flow to this game to start. It's only our 3rd foul total. Trinity Christian hasn't committed one yet. Brady Larup's first free throw misses. First miss from the line for Larup. He had made his first 2. Jake Carley checks back in. Lewis McGlasson on the floor for the first time, along with Justin Phillips for St. Francis. Second free throw misses as well. We still have not seen Nadav Gerner, who prior to today had started every game this season. Gerner started today on the bench because of the senior day festivities. Justin Phillips, deep 3, no. Rebound tipped, brought in, second chance, no good. And free throws coming up for Mobayed. Ibrahim Mobayed just checked in as well during that last whistle. Mobayed getting a little run here with Carter Fahey in foul trouble. First shot is good. (12-8) our score. Fighting Saints are just 1 of 6 from 3-point range to start today out. Second free throw misses, so 1 of 2 for Ibrahim Mobayed. 4-point game. Trinity is just 3 of 11 shooting overall in this game. Miller drive stripped by Jake Carley, and Carley's going the other way. Fired ahead for Phillips. Phillips layup, no. Follow from Mobayed, no. And the rebound tipped into the hands of Dustin Hudak. 2 chances from in the paint, both miss for St. Francis, and now Bridgman steps into a 3 and misses it short. shooting struggles continue, and they continue even further as Jake Carley misses a three. Saints now 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Zaire Miller slows it down for the Trolls. Bounced in low to Jaden Bridgman. Bridgman backs it on Anabarte. Turnaround off the glass and in. Nice post move from the freshman Jaden Bridgman out of Sperry, Oklahoma. It's a 2-point game. Carley in the corner, down low, Mobayed, back outside Phillips. Here's Aitor Anabadarte, still looking for his first points today. McGlasson steps to his left, fires a three and drains it. McGlasson is on the board. The junior from Scotland makes it a 5-point game. 4th time today, the Saints have led by 5. This matches their biggest. Down low, it's Bridgman. Bridgman up over Anabadarte and in. Jaden Bridgman doing some solid work down low the last few trips. Bridgman's got 4 points for Jason Hawkins' team. Carley, quick touchdown low to Mobayed. Phillips on the drive, gives it back up to McGlasson. Phillips open in the corner. Misses the three. Mobayed offensive rebound, knocked loose. Ball free on the floor and diving on top of it. Noah Andringa gets it going for Trinity. Here's Andringa from the wing. Stripped by Phillips, gets it back. Bridgman, nice fake. Now step back from the free throw line. Well defended by Aitor Anabadarte. And a timeout is called by Trinity Christian. 9:50 to play in the first half. This is our first real stoppage in this game. Just a 30-second timeout. That possession was going nowhere. Jason Hawkins decided it best to pull everybody to the sideline and figure it out from there. Trinity Christian so far in this game shooting just 30% from the field and only 2 of 4 from the free throw line. St. Francis likewise has struggled shooting the ball so far, particularly from the outside. Fighting Saints started out 1 of 7 on 3-pointers. Lewis McGlasson hit one. So they're 2 of 9 now. But neither team scoring at quite the rate they'd like to. It's been a totally defensive game, but more than you'd expect. Both of these teams came into today averaging well over 70 points per game. Here's Zaire Miller. Miller given up to Noah Andringa. Bridgman guarded by Nadav Gerner all the way in with the layup. And a technical foul is called on Jaden Bridgman after the layup. Must have said something. It didn't visibly look like he had done anything to warrant a technical, but he was standing right next to the ref and apparently said something he shouldn't have to the Saints on his way back. So that'll send Aitor Anabadarte to the line, 82% foul shooter. And the first free throw is good. Anabadarte thought his work was done with 1 shot, but he does get 2 for the technical. Not often that your center goes to the line to shoot technical shots, but he is the best foul shooter on the team. Not only has he hit 82%, but he has taken almost 100 free throws more than anybody else on the team this year, so he's well practiced. Nadav Gerner just checked in for the first time. He gives it up to Jake Carley. McGlasson over to Gerner. In the corner, Carley for 3. No. Rebounded by Trinity, and a nice job by Hudak to keep his feet in bounds. Stolen by Aitor Anabadarte. Jumps right in front of Zaire Miller's pass. Carley outside McGlasson. McGlasson works in on Andringa, finds Mobayed on the baseline, doesn't get the roll. Rebounded by Andringa. Zaire Miller working against Gerner. Crosses over into the paint, picks up his dribble. Leaner blocked by Mobayed. And picked up by Aitor Anabadarte. Good defensive stop, St. Francis. They lead by 3. They've led the entire half thus far, never by more than 5. McGlasson for 3, and now they have led by more than 5. It's a 6-point game as Lewis McGlasson hits his second three-pointer. Here's Hudak around McGlasson. Gives it up for Troy Glover, nearly knocked away, but Glover keeps it alive. Fired across court to Miller, who comes down out of bounds. Right foot was over the sideline as he brought down that pass. 8:03 to play in the first half. It's been a relatively tight first half, but St. Francis scored the first 5 points, and they have not relinquished that lead. Here's Gerner on the wing, passing across to McGlasson, who's hit a couple of threes already. Looking to get the ball back and fire another one. Wanted it there, but well defended by Cezanne. Anabadarte takes the shot in the face of Troy Glover and hits. Anabadarte was not looking to shoot there, but Glover gave him enough space that ultimately he decided it was his best bet. His first field goal, he's got 4 points for the game now. Aitor Anabadarte has been on fire of late. There's a nice drive by Hudak, who scores and gets the foul. Chance at a three-point play for Dustin Hudak.
St. Francis foul number 10, Ibrahim Mobayed, his first.
First foul on Mobayed.
James Ford.
Dustin Hudak to the line, junior transfer from Collin Community College. Hudak's been very active in today's game so far. Just a 5-point per game scorer. Not very good at the line, but he makes this one. Just 9 of 20 on the season. Carter Fahey is back on the floor, picked up 2 quick fouls and checked out, but Ryan Marks will give him a little run with those 2. Ben Kreitz is in. Here's Darius Wright over to Gerner. Kreitz, high post, back out to Wright. Nice fake from Wright. Finds Nadav Gerner, an open 3. No good. Gerner doesn't shoot a lot, typically a high percentage, but he's 0 for 6 from the field now over his last 2 games as Cezanne misses off the glass. He's still looking for his first points today. Trinity's not going to win this game if they can't get him going. Hudak comes up with the steal. Dustin Hudak on the other end misses the layup. And Darius Wright stepped on the line trying to save it. Sloppy play on the offensive side for St. Francis, but they recovered nicely on defense. John Cezanne came into today's game averaging 18 points per game, 47% shooter. Nothing going for him so far today. He's got the ball in his hands, working against Gerner. Down low, it's Bridgman. Good spin around Kreitz, and he gets all the way to the rim with the layup. St. Francis had their biggest lead of the game at 22-14. But Trinity has cut it back down to 3. Here's Carter Fahey. Down low, passed it right past Darius Wright, but Kreitz was there to clean it up. Shot clock at 5 for Darius Wright. Bounced in for Fahey. Quick turnaround, no. Rebound tipped into the hands of Ben Kreitz. Fahey bounces down low to Kreitz, who lays it up and in. Nice find from Carter Fahey, and Ben Kreitz is on the board. Timeout called, 5:42 to play first half, and Trinity Christian wants to talk things over. They trail 24-19. 14 minutes in, St. Francis has led the whole way. A good start today for the Fighting Saints here on Senior Day. Saints will have 3 more home games coming up after today still. Honoring the seniors today on their last Saturday conference game. They'll be back home next Saturday as well. Take on East West University, a rare late season meeting with East-West. Usually we see them here early in the year. So far today, Lewis McGlasson and E.J. Charles lead the team with 6 points apiece. Charles scored his 6th in just 8 minutes on the floor, and he's been on the bench for the last 6 minutes or so. See if we see him back on the floor soon coming out of this timeout after he got off to a good start. Carter Fahey has come back on the floor playing with 2 fouls. And Fahey's played well with those 2 fouls. He hasn't scored, but he's gotten 3 rebounds and 2 assists. He's helped to solidify this lead for St. Francis. Still, I doubt we'll see him play big minutes down the stretch of the first half with 2 fouls. Jaden Bridgman is the game's leader so far with 8 points as he and the Trolls reclaim their positions on the floor. E.J. Charles is back in for St. Francis. Carter Fahey remains on the floor. Wright, Gerner, and Kreitz are the other 3 out there. John Cizan leads the way for Trinity Christian. Their top offensive player this year has been stifled so far. Gives it up to Syer Miller. Miller on the wing. Looks down low, starts to bounce, and finds Brady Larup. Cizan drives, pulls up, dishes off to Bridgman, and Jaden Bridgman is fouled. So Bridgman heads to the line. Already 8 points in the game for him. Try to pick up 2 more. He's already surpassed his season average in points, and he's done so in under 15 minutes. He's up to 9 for the game. Came in averaging 7.2, 57% from the free throw line. Bridgman's second shot is good. He makes it a 3-point game. This is where we've been most of the way this first half. Just 1 score separating the 2 teams. Fahey gets it to a cutting Charles. E.J. Charles blocked by Troy Glover. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here's Bridgman. Bridgman loses his dribble and finds Miller. Ben Kreitz jumps in front of Troy Glover and steals it away. Kreitz on the other end, bounces down low to Charles, right back to Ben Kreitz. Nadav Gerner throws it out of bounds. He was looking for Darius Wright. 2 of them not on the same page. Noah Andringa is back in for Syer Miller. 4:35 to play in the half. Cizan across half court. Gets it right back from Glover. Bounced into Glover, up with the right hand. He pushes it in. And Trinity Christian is within 1 point here. 6 points for Troy Glover. John Cizan still has not scored, but he's getting his teammates involved as he picks up the assist. 9-2 run for Trinity. Here's Kreitz. Finding Carter Fahey, nearly knocked away. Fahey out to Gerner, 3-point attempt, misses. And it's rebounded by Bridgman. Trinity can take their first lead of the game here late in the first half. Andringa fakes the shot, gets inside, kicks it out to Cizan. Cizan on the little floater, misses off the rim, rebound knocked around, still loose, and Gerner picks it up along the baseline. Nadav Gerner pushes it forward. Back to E.J. Charles for 3. Short, rebound tipped into the hands of Brady Larup. St. Francis has gone ice cold offensively. Their defense trying to pick them up here. Andringa bounces it to Bridgman. Bridgman's been tough to stop today, but he misses this one. Rebounded by Fahey. There's E.J. Charles on the move. Charles all the way in, and he's fouled. E.J. Charles with the offense struggling. Decided to really force the issue. Took matters into his own hands, and he got himself to the line. 3:01 to play in the half. Charles makes the first free throw. 7 points for E.J. Charles to lead the team. St. Francis just 31% from the field so far today. Trying to make up some ground from the line. They've hit their free throws as Charles makes this one. 5 of 6 from the line as a team so far today. The lead is back to 3. This is a comfortable position for St. Francis. The lead has been 3 for much of the period. Drive from Cezanne all the way past Carly, lays it in. John Cezanne is on the board for the first time today, an 18-point-per-game scorer. Took him over 17 minutes, but he does get on the board. Here's Aitor Anabarate. Into the corner, Charles fakes the 3 and now takes it for real. No good. Shooting continues to be an issue for St. Francis. Larup, one-on-one with Anabarate, blocked by Aitor Anabarate. Larup gets it back and he's fouled. Nice block by Anabarate, but the Saints were unable to clear it. And so Ben Kreitz is called for the foul, and Brady Larup goes to the line. First foul shot misses. Foul shooting has not been so sharp for Trinity today. Larup is close to 80%. He makes 1 of 2, so we're tied. First time today we have had a tie score, 26-all. St. Francis had led the entire way. Trying to reclaim that lead here. It's Charles lobbing it down low to Anabarate. Outside Carly. Baseline jumper, Darius Wright missed it. Saints are now under 30% for the game. And again, the Trolls can take their first lead. John Cezanne works against Jake Carly. Poked away by E.J. Charles. Charles going one-on-one with Andringa. Misses the layup and knocked out of bounds by Anabarate. Golden chance for the Saints right there after the big steal from Charles. He can't finish on the other end. We remain tied. Both teams having a tough time on offense. Cezanne trying to change that. Crosses over on Wright. Off the glass, no. Rebound poked around. E.J. Charles tracks it down. Charles did not have numbers. He pulls back a bit. Hudak forcing the issue defensively. Anabarate spins into the paint. Fade away for him, misses. Rebounded by Brady Larup. Charles tried to get the poke away from behind. Nearly fouled Larup. Trinity keeps possession. Final minute of the half. Glover gives Trinity the lead. Not the prettiest looking shot from Troy Glover. Kind of putted it in like a shot put with his right hand, but he does give Trinity their first advantage today, 28-26. Final minute, probably the last offensive possession of the half for St. Francis. Can they get points out of it? It's been tough of late as Aitor Anabarate is fouled down low. Just the 4th on Trinity. And so the Saints will not get free throws just yet, but they do get to add 9 seconds to the shot clock. Darius Wright to inbound, finds Aitor Anabarate. Up to Carly. Carly spins inside the arc. Jumper is good for Carly. 5 points for him. We're tied at 28. And Trinity will try to get one more shot off here before halftime. Cezanne splits the double team. Outside three-pointer Andringa misses it. And that's the end of the first half. Low scoring first half. Both defenses played hard. Both teams struggled to shoot. It ends up a wash. This game will be decided in the final 20 minutes. Halftime, here in Joliet. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Until then, enjoy the 28-28 tie we sit in here on the USF Sports Network. just about a minute away from the start of the second half. St. Francis and Trinity Christian are tied at 28. This was a St. Francis game most of the first half. They led for about 17 minutes out of the 20 that were played. The Trinity Christian stormed back late. They took a brief lead before the Fighting Saints came and tied it once again. 28 all. Neither team shot the ball particularly well in the first half. Trinity was 39% from the field. St. Francis just 30%. Saints especially struggled from the outside. 3 of 15 from three-point range. Trinity Christian has not made a three-pointer yet. They haven't taken too many. They're just 0 of 2, and they're 11 of 26 from inside the arc. E.J. Charles leads the Fighting Saints with 8 points. He's also got a couple of rebounds and a couple of steals. Lewis McGlasson right behind him with 6 points, and he did that in just 6 minutes played. As for Trinity, Jaden Bridgman is the team leader with 10 points. Bridgman averages only 7 a game. And he got 10 in the first half all by itself, 4 of 9 from the field. Troy Glover was awfully impressive. Glover went 4 for 4 shooting. He's got 8 points and 6 rebounds thus far. The Trolls are back on the floor. They'll get the ball to start the second half. They've got their 5 starters out there. St. Francis has not budged from the bench just yet. Ryan Marks is over at the scorer's table along with Jason Hawkins and one of the officials as well, sorting something out before the Fighting Saints bring their lineup back out there. St. Francis started with a different lineup than usual today. Both Aitor Anabararte and Nadav Gerner had started every game this season. Both men came off the bench today. Senior day, Tyler Irvin and Jake Carley got rare starting nods in their place, as 6 St. Francis seniors were honored before the game today. Carley and Irvin, along with Darius Wright, E.J. Charles, Carter Fahey, and Arnold Agard, who saw his first action of the year off the bench early in the first half. So let's see who the Saints come out with to start the second half today. It'll be Fahey, Charles, and Wright who all started the game, along with Justin Phillips and Aitor Anabararte. Anabararte has been the best player in the conference, I think I can say fairly safely, over the last 3 weeks or so. Slow going for him so far today. In a reserve role, he has just 4 points and 3 rebounds in 13 minutes. Trinity basketball, we are underway. It's John Cizan, who came in averaging 18 a game, scored just 2 points in the first half. Cizan was just 1 of 6 from the field. Here's the star of the half, Bridgman, who put it in the basket, but it doesn't count. He traveled before the shot. So we remain tied. Jason Hawkins wanted a foul called there instead of the travel. I'm sure Jaden Bridgman is on the same page as his head coach, but the call goes St. Francis's way. Nice pass from Fahey to the cutting Phillips, who passes it back out to Darius Wright. Fahey at the free throw line. One dribble out to Wright. Darius Wright for 3, rims out. Rebound tipped into the hands of E.J. Charles, and he's fouled by John Cizan. Nice job by Charles to grab that rebound, and a good job as well by Aitor Anabararte. He kept that play alive. First foul called on Trinity. The Trolls committed just 4 fouls as a team in the first half. John Cizan's first. Anabararte at the free throw line. One dribble, passes outside. Right back to Anabararte. His pass deflected, but it finds its way to its intended target anyway. Carter Fahey's jumper misses. Rebound tip to Justin Phillips. Third chance of the possession for the Saints. Fahey down low. Aitor Anabararte lays it in on the reverse. Anabarte's got 6 now for St. Francis on just 2 shots. He has not missed today. St. Francis is back in the lead. They've held the lead most of the game. They've been up by as many as 8. Troy Glover down low, working against Fahey, hooks it in with the right hand. Troy Glover against Fahey. Glover is 5 for 5 from the field now, 10 points for him to match Bridgman as the game's leader. Fahey into Anabararte, off balance with the right hand, he scores. So Aitor Anabararte, who was quiet in the first half, not so much here in the second. 3 of 3 from the field now for 8 points. Glover on the outside. Passes over to Cezanne. Down low, Bridgman. One-on-one with Anabadarte. Charles comes in to help, and he may have forced that miss. 5-on-4. Bridgman slow to get back into the play. Justin Phillips wide open for 3. Missed it. Rebounded by Trinity. Brady Larup gives it up to John Cezanne, and here come the Trolls. Missed chance for the Fighting Saints on that last possession. Cezanne pull up, no. Rebounded by Fahey. 2-point lead for the Fighting Saints. This game has been close throughout. Fahey gives it up for Anabadarte, but it's deflected and stolen. Here's Cezanne all alone, an easy layup. Second field goal of the game for John Cezanne. For the third time today, we're tied 32 all. Charles out to Darius Wright, bounced right back to Charles. Fahey is double teamed. Pivots and passes out of the double team. Charles, pull up jumper, yes. E.J. Charles got off to such a hot start. Hadn't heard from him for a while, but he's got 10 points now. The offense has picked up a little bit here in the second half after a defensive tussle in the first. Bridgman loses the ball out of bounds, and it was never touched by the Saints. Turnover committed by Trinity. Those were a problem in the first half. There are over 10 turnovers already. However, the Saints have just 2 points off of turnovers. Anabadarte bounces to E.J. Charles. Charles fighting for positioning down low, blocked by Larup. Glover inside, Bridgman lays it in. 12 points for Jaden Bridgman. Tie score again. After the Saints led for the first 17-plus minutes of this game without relinquishing it once, the score is constantly going back and forth ever since. Darius Wright jumper is good. Speaking of which, Darius Wright hits a jumper as they trade buckets once again. 2-point lead, St. Francis. Cezanne passes to his left. It's Larup. Up top, Glover. And up to Zaire Miller. Bridgman pull up from the free throw line. Perfect. Good shot for Jaden Bridgman, and now has 14 points. This is more like the first time these two teams met up. Back and forth, a lot of points on the board. St. Francis won that one 80-76. Aitor Anabadarte along the baseline. Layup, yes. Aitor Anabadarte remains perfect. 4 for 4 from the field, and he's got 10 points now. He joins E.J. Charles in double figures for the Saints. Cezanne bounces it off to his right. Down low to Glover. Here's Zaire Miller, blocked from behind by E.J. Charles and right into the hands of Aitor Anabadarte. Big rejection from Charles. Darius Wright the other way. Contact, no call as he misses the shot. Zaire Miller loses it from behind. Phillips knocks it free. And out of bounds. Zaire Miller tried to grab that ball back while his back was on the line. How about that defense from Justin Phillips? He came racing up the right side, trying to catch Miller off guard. Miller was actually dribbling the ball in his left hand, but he was so distracted by Phillips flying past him on his right that he lost concentration on his dribble, and Phillips was able to come across his body and take it away. Darius Wright for 3. Short, rebounded by Glover. Well, no matter what's gone on in this second half, you can bet on one thing. This is going to be a one-score game. Even after forcing the turnover, St. Francis can't change that. This has been so tight in the first 6 minutes of the second half. There's a strip from Wright. Picked up by Anabadarte. Another Trinity Christian turnover. Can the Saints take advantage? Darius Wright, good outside shooter. This time takes it inside, gives it to Fahey. No, second chance is good for Carter Fahey. Fahey was in foul trouble, didn't play huge minutes in the first half, but still an uncharacteristic half for him in that he did not score. This time around he does, his first points of the game. Hudak gives it to Glover. Taken away again by St. Francis. Phillips to Fahey, layup blocked. Troy Glover got in the way. Glover receives the pass, stripped out of bounds by St. Francis. 7 minutes into the second half, it has been tight as can be. This 4-point margin is the biggest it's been since halftime. St. Francis goes to their bench. Carly, McGlasson, Gerner all check in. Phillips, Wright, and Charles head to the bench. Bridgman, one bounce, kicks it out to Cezanne. Three-pointer, rims out. Rebound, Anabadarte. Lobbed in for Aitor Anabadarte, stripped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. Aitor wanted a foul called, I think, there. Good luck. There's been only one called this whole half. We've seen in over 27 minutes of basketball, just 11 total fouls called. Saints ball with 20 to shoot. Gerner gets it into Fahey. Fahey, pull-up jumper, short. Rebounded by Bridgman. Saints unable to extend that 4-point lead. They led by as many as 8 in the first half. Glover fighting hard inside, misses too high off the glass, gets his own rebound, and puts it back in. That miss from Troy Glover was his first missed shot of the game, and he did not let it stand. Immediately got the rebound and tried again. He's now 6 of 7 shooting. Anabadarte remains perfect from the field. He fires it outside to Carter Fahey. 12 to shoot. McGlasson, long three, way off. Rebounded by Brady Larup. 2-point game. Trinity can tie or take the lead here. They led only briefly in the first half. They have not here in the second. Glover fakes the three. Works his way in on Fahey. Off the side of the backboard, no good. Carly fires it ahead. Anabadarte, good touch pass to Lewis McGlasson, and McGlasson lays it in. 8 points for Lewis McGlasson. Timeout called, 11:35 to play in the second half. And St. Francis is back up by 4, and the way this game has gone, 4 points feels like a mountain. It's a full timeout called by Trinity Christian. Jason Hawkins wants to get his team back in fighting form. Trinity trailed by 8 points in the first half. They fought back. Took a lead at 28-26. Actually, 28-26 was their biggest lead, just 2 points. They led twice in the first half, but never by more than 2. St. Francis has led over 90% of the time in this game. A brief period in which Trinity took a 2-point lead was erased on the next possession. St. Francis tied it up. It was 28 all at halftime. We've been tied a few times here in the second half. Trinity's had to force all those ties because St. Francis has played from ahead the whole way. 7 times we've been tied in this game. First at 26-26. And then 6 more times since then, as the second half has really resulted in 2 teams just trading buckets. (42-38). Trinity Christian has the ball, trailing. Cezanne bounces down low to Brady Larup. And Larup is fouled from behind on the floor. Jake Carly called for extending the leg, a little bit of a trip there. Just the second foul called this half. First on the Fighting Saints. Here's Hudak. Jump stop in the paint. Out to Glover. Jumper, no. Rebound Fahey. Carter Fahey, no look pass. Back to Anabararte, and he probably should have looked. Out of the reach of Aitor Anabararte and across half court. Anabararte tried to save it, but it was already over the line. So a backcourt violation. Gives the ball back to Trinity Christian. Trying to pull back to within one score. They've been there a lot this half. Bridgman turnaround off the back rim, no good. Rebound Fahey. Bridgman's got a game high 14 points, but he comes up empty this time. Fahey drives and an offensive foul called on Carter Fahey. Troy Glover took the charge. And that's number 3 on Fahey. Trinity hasn't made their big run, but they've hung around. Starting to get late in this game as we near the final quarter of play. Glover, shot doesn't count. He traveled before the ball left his hands. Well, you can't travel after the ball leaves your hands, that's for sure. So Trinity's come up empty a few times in a row now. They are struggling. That's their 15th turnover. But the Saints haven't been able to take advantage to pull away. That's because they're turning it over as well. Carter Fahey throws it out of bounds. Second time that we've seen an errant pass from Fahey in the last minute or so. The game's starting to get a little bit sloppier as turnovers abound for both teams. Cezanne across half court, fires it off to Hudak, and that's a turnover. Not sure if that even hit out of bounds or if it hit the official, but he was standing out of bounds at the time, and he's considered part of the floor if the ball hits him. It's true if the refs are inbounds or out. 16 turnovers for Trinity Christian. The second half had a really nice rhythm going because of the lack of fouls primarily. But now with all the turnovers, that rhythm has been cut into a little bit. Nadav Gerner finds McGlasson at the top. Saints are still in control of this one. It's tight though. Pass to a cutting Anabararte, and he's left all alone. Anabararte makes him pay. He was double teamed. Both defenders left him to chase Carter Fahey, and the defensive miscommunication leads to an easy bucket for Anabararte. 12 points for the junior center. CCAC Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Contender for that award again this week. Layup, pull up, no good. Rebound Fahey. The lead is 6 for St. Francis. It's their biggest of the second half. Their biggest of the game is 8. McGlasson to Fahey, bounced right back to McGlasson, who's fouled. Clean block up top by Troy Glover, but the foul came before it got to him, down low on Lewis McGlasson. Called on Dustin Hudak, and it sends McGlasson to the line. Only 6 fouls all game called against Trinity Christian. McGlasson makes the first of 2 foul shots. Lewis McGlasson this year is 5 of 6 at the line. Obviously doesn't shoot him very often. He's a spot-up shooter. But shooters tend to be good at free throws. 10 points for Lewis McGlasson. Third Saint in double figures. The lead is up to 8. 6 straight points for the Fighting Saints. They've got their biggest lead today. Glover over to Andringa for 3. Noah Andringa rattles home the 3, and that's a big one for Trinity Christian. First points of the game for Andringa. First 3-pointer today for Trinity Christian. Gerner down to Fahey. Fahey finally puts the ball on the floor. He was at risk of a 5-second call. Fahey for three. Rims out. Rebound Andringa. 8 minutes to go. 5-point game. Lobbed ahead for Glover, who keeps himself inbounds to Hudak. Hudak misses off the glass. Anabadarte grabs the rebound. This is far from over. Saints in good shape right now, though, as Gerner drives up with the right hand. No. That good shape will distort itself very quickly if Trinity starts knocking down some of their shots. Now, Andringa, a couple of possessions ago, hit the first three-pointer of the game for Trinity Christian. Will that heat the rest of the team up? Or maybe just Andringa? Timeout called from the bench by Trinity Christian. It's the second time we've seen Jason Hawkins do that. Calls a timeout when it just feels like the possession is kind of stalled. Well, they've still got a couple of timeouts remaining, so no harm in calling this one right now at 7:20 to try to draw up a better play. It's a 5-point game. Trinity's trailed pretty much the whole way. They held the lead for all of 22 seconds total in this game. 46-41 is our score. It's been one of those weird games where it's been close all the way through, and yet somehow it feels like the Fighting Saints are kind of in control of it. To be clear, they have not been in control of this game at any point. Been in possession of the lead most of the way, but that's a different issue entirely. Trinity Christian now shooting 39% from the field. St. Francis is at just 35%. The Saints are 3 of 20 from three-point range. Artur Anabadarte, coming off the bench for the first time this year, has provided a nice spark in that role for the Fighting Saints. 12 points and 6 rebounds for him in 26 minutes played. Carter Fahey today just 1 of 9 from the field. Darius Wright just 1 of 7. Weird numbers from a couple of good offensive players. But it shines a light on how big Aitor Anabadarte has come off the bench. Hudak nearly stepped out of bounds there. He keeps the play alive. Fired down low for Glover. Off his hands, out of bounds. Last touched by Trinity. Another turnover committed by the Trolls. Number 17 today. Gerner walks it to his left, pulls back out. Anabadarte at the high post. Bounces once, thinks about giving to Wright. Now he does find Darius Wright. Wright with the clock running down, has it stripped, but he's fouled.
Trinity foul number 1, Zaire Miller, his first, team's third.
Just the third foul on the Trolls. Saints have committed only 2 of them. Inbounded to Fahey. Up top, Darius Wright bounces right back to Fahey. Aitor Anabadarte backs in. Anabadarte fighting with Jaden Bridgman, and he gets off the side of the backboard, but it's rebounded by Carter Fahey, and Fahey scores. 4 points for Fahey. It's been Bridgman's game today for Trinity. He kicks it outside to Glover. Glover's had a great game as well. John Cezanne into a double team, kicks it outside. Andringa, free throw line jumper on the money. Five points for Andringa. Aitor Anabadarte. Reverse layup, no, but he's fouled. That sends him to the line. That missed layup attempt does not count against Aitor Anabadarte's free throw percentage, which is important just because of how great a day he's had. He has not missed a shot, 5 for 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. See here if he can add 2 more. His shot is good. 13 points for Anabadarte, 3 of 3 from the line. Charles and Phillips are back in. Gerner and Carley head out. 6-point game. Make it 7. 50-43. Final 5.5 minutes coming up. Lobbed for Bridgman. He's fouled from behind by Anabadarte. Just number 3 on St. Francis. And only the first on Aitor Anabadarte.
His first, team's third.
Hudak into Bridgman. Bridgman, floater in the lane. No. Rebound tipped and right back to Carter Fahey. Fahey bounces to the cutting Darius Wright, and Wright can't finish. Been a struggle these last few games for Darius Wright. He had been so good all year, but scoring has not been his forte of late. Under 5 minutes to play in a 7-point game. Glover out to Bridgman. Bridgman is fouled. He possibly could have called a travel there, but the foul came first. It's on the floor. Number 4 on Carter Fahey. 4 fouls on either team, so neither side's in the bonus yet. Cezanne pull-up jumper, short, didn't get the roll. For as much as I was talking about Darius Wright and Carter Fahey's offensive struggles a few moments ago, nothing quite has compared to Cezanne today as Darius Wright is fouled. Troy Glover got the block, but foul is called on that block. And so the Saints will get some free throws coming their way.
Trinity foul number 10, Dustin Hudak, his second, team
They
fifth.
called the foul on Dustin Hudak. He went low as Glover went high. The block itself was ruled to have been clean, but it won't count on the stat sheet. Darius Wright makes the first free throw. Free throw shooting has been big. Saints have missed only 1 today. And that remains the case. 9-point lead, most that St. Francis has led by today. Bridgman working in tight, has to kick it outside, well defended by Anabadarte. And not that time, he was a little too aggressive defensively. He got Bridgman in the back, a foul is called. 5th foul on the team, again it's on the floor. Cezanne backs it up. There's Troy Glover in the paint. Glover stripped by Charles. Justin Phillips picks up the loose ball. Carter Fahey hounded by Troy Glover, drives past Glover, kicks it into the corner. Aitor Anabadarte for 3. No good, rebound E.J. Charles. Saints reset. Ahead by 9. It's not a big enough lead to start thinking about running down the clock, but every second that ticks off is a benefit to the Saints. There's your alley-oop, and E.J. Charles lays it in on the back end off the feed from Justin Phillips. 11-point game. This is as big a blowout as we've seen today. It has been such a tight one, but the Saints are taking control late. . Dished off to Glover. Glover stripped and fouled. .308 to play. DJ Charles is called for his second foul. And a timeout is called by St. Francis before Troy Glover's free throws. 54-43, it's the biggest lead of the game for the Fighting Saints. They have led almost the whole way. Only 22 total seconds in this game. We're led by Trinity Christian. And they've gone back to their old tricks offensively. Trolls are struggling to put the ball in the basket. In the second half, they continue to struggle to shoot. St. Francis has been much improved in that area. The Fighting Saints here in the second half have gone 9 for 21 from the field. That's not a great percentage, 43%. But in the first half, remember, they shot only 31. So they needed a boost. They've gotten it. And now if they can hold off this late run from Trinity Christian, they'll be walking out of here with their second straight win. St. Francis came into play today 10-6 in conference games. So they're pretty well established as a CCAC tournament team. A win today would make it official that they'll be playing in the CCA tournament. Even a loss today probably wouldn't mean anything, at least as far as that is concerned. First free throw is good from Troy Glover. Glover's played well today, 13 points for him. Second shot is good. Glover makes them both. Phillips keeps it in bounds. Aitor Anabadarte right back to Phillips. Darius Wright across half court. Phillips sets up the offense again. The Saints run a little bit of clock. Fahey just inside the three-point line. Surveys the scene, didn't see anything he liked, so he finally backs it up. A foul is called on Troy Glover. Got in the way of Fahey, who was trying to start making a drive. Still just the fourth. Oh, check that, the sixth now on Trinity. So both teams hit their limit. Bonus on future fouls. Justin Phillips with 15 to shoot. Here's Darius Wright back to Phillips. Wright finds Aitor Anabadarte just inside the free throw line. His shot's blocked. Darius Wright throws one towards the rim, and it's off the mark. Looked like a good shot set up with Aitor Anabadarte, but once he was blocked, with the shot clock running down, they had no choice but to try to save it from going out of bounds while simultaneously putting it in the basket. Would have been a difficult play for Darius Wright. And Dringa bounces it outside. Down low. One extra pass to the right side. Jaden Bridgman hits the short jumper. Timeout called. A minute 54 left. 54-47, St. Francis leads. We saw kind of a stilted, low-scoring first half. Here in the second half, we've seen even more low scoring. It was tied 28-28 at halftime. This game has operated relatively quickly. So there has been a pretty decent flow to this one, despite the low scores. Typically, both of these teams score a lot more. Each team averages well over 70 points per game. For St. Francis, 74. And for Trinity Christian, 75. Unless we go to overtime, probably a couple of overtimes, we're not going to get anywhere close to those numbers today. That's all right. It's been a defensive tussle. Those games are fun too. Trinity came into play today at 5-11. Not terribly likely to be a CCAC tournament participant, but it's not over yet. Talking about St. Francis at the top of the broadcast and how tight things are at the top half of the CCAC. These first 5 teams really throw them into any game and say they can beat anybody. St. Francis has proven it. They've beaten Olivet, they've beaten South Bend. They've lost to Roosevelt twice, but by a combined 6 points. So they know they can hang in there with the Lakers. Here's the full court press from the Trolls. Phillips is struggling to beat it. He does get it across the timeline to Darius Wright. A basket here would be a backbreaker for Trinity Christian. Charles into Fahey. Fahey down low. Aitor Anabararte lays it in. There's your backbreaker. It's a 9-point game now with just 80 seconds to play. Trinity needs buckets. They need them quickly. St. Francis's defense is not letting them operate quickly on this possession. Shoveled off down low to Glover. Glover nearly lost the ball, stuck with it, missed off the glass. Out of bounds on Glover. Final minute of play coming up. And barring a ridiculous turnover, Saints seem to have this one all sewn up. Fahey across half court. Back out to Anabararte, Darius Wright. And Wright lets himself get fouled with 53 seconds on the clock. Trying to make this a 4-possession game.
Trinity foul number 10, Dustin Hudak, his third, team 7.
Still 53 seconds left. I'm trying to think of when you can make the determination that this game is final. Probably a little bit later than this, but a 4-possession game with under a minute to go is a really tall order. First of what has become 2 foul shots is good. Second shot, good. 58-47, 53 seconds to play, and now St. Francis can just back off a little bit. Cezanne for 3. Oh, you don't want to back up too much, I guess. John Cezanne has a 3-pointer. He didn't score in the first half. 7 points now in the second. Timeout called by Trinity with 46 seconds to go, 58-50. And what a possession that was for Trinity. They didn't seem to be acting with a lot of urgency, but they didn't really need to because they got the 3 points out of it. It was an 11-point game. Now it's down to 8. Just 7 seconds ran off the clock during that play that led to the 3-pointer. St. Francis still in prime condition right now. They'll try to get the ball into one of their better free throw shooters. Aitor Anabararte is the best on the team. He is on the floor. Those are Charles, Phillips, and Wright. Inbounded to Anabararte, right back to Carter Fahey, and the Saints beat the press. Sent inside for E.J. Charles. Charles pulls it back out. Darius Wright's foul. 6 points today for Darius Wright. He had a really rough go of it against Roosevelt on Wednesday. Really tough shooting night again tonight, but maybe these late free throws will help him get into a rhythm. Probably not. Not on that one. He missed the front end. Big break for Trinity Christian. Now can they score quickly again? Jaden Bridgman inside. Offensive foul. Darius Wright missed the free throw on the other end of the floor, but down here, he takes a huge charge on a shot that Trinity desperately needed to get themselves back in the game. Instead, the Saints are less than 30 seconds away from winning their second in a row. Inbound to Fahey, and he's fouled right away. No chance for the traps in the backcourt anymore. They've just run out of time for that sort of thing. Instead, they're fouling immediately. That was the 10th team foul. Double bonus this time. So 2 shots for Fahey regardless. The first one's an air ball. Carter Fahey is not a bad free throw shooter at all. 74% for the year, but the last one was ugly. And this one misses as well. They've missed 3 free throws late, and that's knocked out of bounds by Jaden Bridgman. Both teams making mistakes down the stretch. First, Darius Wright misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Then Bridgman is called for the offensive foul. Then Carter Fahey misses 2 free throws, and then Bridgman turns it over again. Aitor Anabararte is fouled this time by Troy Glover, and if there's one guy you'd expect to be able to put the game away from the line, it's this guy, 84%. And he leads the team with 16 points tonight. He's hit exactly his season average. That puts an end to that run of 3 straight missed free throws. This again would make it a 4-score game and essentially put this away. He hits it. So now with just 25 seconds left, it's going to take a miracle or St. Francis making a crucial mistake in order to give Trinity Christian a chance here. Cezanne off-balance shot. That was pretty. I don't know that it's going to be enough. A 2-pointer with 17 seconds left, but a really nice shot from John Cezanne, who now fouls Darius Wright. 16.2 showing. Two shots for Wright. He made 2 free throws a few minutes ago, and then shortly after that missed the front end of a 1-and-1. So he's missed 2 straight foul shots now and 3 straight opportunities from the line. And this one's good. 61-52. Justin Phillips tries to slow down Cezanne just a little bit. Step back 3 for John Cezanne. That's an air ball. Rebounded by Carter Fahey. Lobbed ahead for Phillips, and he won't even bother taking the shot. They'll let the clock run out, and St. Francis picks up a big victory as they continue to make a run to the top half of the CCAC tournament seeding. This is a welcome victory that improves their record to 11-6 in conference play, and it completes a 2-game sweep for St. Francis over Trinity Christian in today's CCAC action. The women's team picked up a 16-point victory, or 13-point victory rather, earlier today, and now the men's team takes this one by 9, 61-52, our final score. Aitor Anabararte, the leader once again for St. Francis. He has been on a heck of a roll for the Fighting Saints. 18 more points for the junior center today. And he also contributed off the bench in this one with 7 rebounds and a blocked shot. 13 rebounds for Carter Fahey to lead the way for the team. E.J. Charles scored 12. Lewis McGlasson had 10 points off the bench. Trinity Christian was led in today's game by Jaden Bridgman. He finished with 16 points. Troy Glover had a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. Anabararte, by the way, 18 points, 6 of 9 shooting. He was very efficient today in scoring 2 points for every one of his shots in the game. He is certainly playing his best basketball of the season over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and he'll try to keep it rolling on Wednesday. That's the next time that St. Francis takes the floor. It'll be a 7 o'clock start time. That'll also be our next broadcast of St. Francis men's basketball right here at the Sullivan Center. 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. It'll be a doubleheader with the women's game starting at 5. Victory today for St. Francis gives them a regular season series sweep of Trinity Christian. 12 and 10 now, the record overall for the Fighting Saints this season. They improved to 11 and 6. In conference play, Trinity Christian takes the loss, and they fall now on the season to 9 and 14 overall. They are 5 and 12 in conference play. Once again, our final score today, St. Francis 61, Trinity Christian 52. That'll do it from the Sullivan Center on Senior Day here at the University of St. Francis. Saints pick up back-to-back wins, the women's team and the men's team both taking out Trinity Christian today. Till next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good Saturday evening.